Hey everyone, we're finally at that point. No more waiting another day to keep on losing. But we can open that one boost that is gonna make or break the season. This means now 2 rocket choppers per boat, and a few extra rifles to help out on those kind of hits. Because we went through lasers, eventually we'll get troop damage to level 4, but we calc that with our tech right here, maxed out building health, we got cannons already, and max gunboat, we do have just enough for level 3 GBE. Are going to be running this base, really spreading out our engines because with rocket choppers, when you have a lot of buildings next to the engine, you kind of force them to take them down. And a lot of cannons, boom cannons together because tiny shocks can only pinpoint one building. So when you have a bunch of them grouped up, then could be a bit tougher. So we'll try out our new boost and see how it goes. And the main idea is going to be like those early 5-year attacks, where it's not so much about flaring, but the location and timing of how you drop your troops. Because as long as you get a good split, then that's all that matters. And these kind of bases, I like going mainly from the right side. If you get a good split, then you have some rocket choppers on this middle ER, and some on the far right. We'll do one rifle on the left because sometimes it can go straight to this engine, and one on the right to distract, let's say, that cannon boom cannon. So you get these guys going, already 4 RCs right there. And we're going to drop 2 a bit later on the right side, and get those going right now. Waiting long enough for that cannon to be distracted, and we'll see where these rifles on the left go. But as you clear a few more buildings, start doing some tiny shocks. And you can see some choppers go on the right side to get a good split. We'll do a few more tiny shocks, especially on all these cannons. Sometimes don't go to shock this one, but you can go across the gap. The rifles on the left side are helping out, killing that engine. And as soon as the left engine goes down, we can really start flaring. So getting one right there. Finishing arting off those machine guns. And I don't know why, thought we sent the flare, but looks like a few seconds late. But sending it now, and I guess it could have been like a 305 time, but getting around 3 minutes flat. Because we only have 40 troop damage, our time should be around 3 minutes to 305. But we'll go ahead and take that win. The only 2 abilities that really matter are just flare and tiny shock. So it's kind of like being one of those chefs where make a 5-star meal with 2 ingredients. Even with only 2 of them, you still have room for a lot of creative hits. On this space, we'll do something a bit different, like we can do a few rifles on one side, and then all the RCs on the right. It's just finding ways that make the rifles not only help initially, but even later on too. So we'll probably do something like this. 2 rifles, all the RCs over here, and just 1 tiny shock on the boom cannon. The one on the left because you can heal from those flames, but we will do just 1 medkit. And the right side we can let them go too, because already we want to go to that engine. So waiting a few more seconds, but we can start flaring right now. Gonna go for all the engines on this side, that 1 machine gun being annoying, and trying to be a bit good with our flares. Let's take a few seconds for the flares to land, and then just flare the last few ERs. And this is what we meant by the rifles helping out later. Not only did they kill the first engine, but now they're distracting all these buildings. Looks like we need a few more arts for the top one, sending those. And then just use rest of artillery on this last engine. So this one also in that range of 3 minutes to 305, and hopefully it's fast enough. We could match people with more troop damage and it is a bit of a disadvantage, but I feel like doing good hits can be enough for a few rank ups. And we do want to pick up some more troop damage next. Do have to go through the tokens, but once we get that, we'll go from 40 troop damage to 80 and it'll make a huge difference. But here we go to 5 ER, and maybe now we can finally start bullying them. So with 16 RCs, you can even do split hits. Doing like some rifles on each side, and then some rocket choppers on the right side, while some get the left engine. So getting the rifles out first. Gotta wait a few seconds. Had too many times where we drop the RCs too early, still get hit by cannons. Even this one probably have to tiny shock. Of course the RCs are way too fast. But as these buildings go down, the RCs go each to the next engine. So do 1 more on that cannon. And really just wait until both these engines go down. 5 ERs have a little less health than 6 ERs, so shouldn't take too long. And we are saving a lot of GB where we can just flare the last few. Few more seconds on the right side, then we start flaring. And then use like a million tiny shocks, as we have that much GB. Do you want to try to save a few choppas, especially because, well, with no instant training, the more we lose then it does suck. We're pulling a 306 and a 5 ER, and I think in most cases, 5 shouldn't be a big issue. Especially with so many choppas, you can clear almost every building and still get a good time. And it should get a lot easier from here. Of course, more troop damage helps out, got double protos after that, probably shock blasters, and then just get so many tokens to upgrade everything. Here we got this kind of base, which we can kind of do that 2 rifle, 1 doctor hit, as they can deal with not only this right engine, but also help distract for when we flare this one. And as far as the left side goes, just do all 5 rocket choppas and should be okay. So we'll do the 2 rifles, 1 doctor, get the 5 RCs over here. And don't really have to worry about snipers if we have enough choppas. They're just using tiny shocks on the cannons. Then pretty soon getting one on the boom cannon. Maybe you don't have to worry about this one. Just gotta wait and see how many rifles there are. But at least right now it looks okay. We'll do 1 medkit because the doctors are lagging behind. But as soon as the right engine goes down, then start flaring. I'm gonna go ahead and do tiny shocks on even some of those machine guns. And then start flaring the left side. Sometimes you don't have to shock the machine guns if there's, let's say, shock blasters later on. But especially with no instant training, we want to try to avoid most of the damage that comes our way. Of course, we're like a second too early. We're just a sliver of health, so gotta wait for this engine to go down, then throwing a few more arts. But even with those screw-ups, still getting a 3-minute time. He did also only have 40 troop damage, so still an even matchup. It looks like we barely got it. And we are gonna need a few more choppas. So because this is our last hit, gonna probably spend the 15 gems. But it actually is better if you want to get like 7 more, spending those 69 diamonds. And shout out to Kevin for telling us about this, but we have like 7 RCs times 15, it's like over 100. So it's one of those classic, spend more money and each one's gonna be cheaper. Would be a little embarrassing if we still lose this one. But it's a base we do know. 2 rifles on this side, bunch of RCs on that one. And he only has 50 troop damage, so kind of an even matchup. And we'll do the same as before. 2 rifles, bunch of RCs on the right side, 1 tiny shock on the boom cannon. And even the sniper's machine guns don't really gotta worry about. Just 1 medkit on this side. Right side looking okay. RC is getting close to dying, but not dead yet. And in a few seconds, we can start flaring. Luckily, tiny shocks are a full 30 seconds, so can even do it a lot sooner and you should be fine. Getting the flare on the top engine. Especially when the engines are really far back, you want to try to send the flares a few seconds before. It's okay to send the flares really early, because if you do leave a bit of health in the engine, that's why we have artillery. So our last flare right here. And just in case, we will do a few more tiny shocks, and the rest of arts on the last one. This one, another 303, and hoping it's enough. And here, moment of truth, 303 is an okay time, and still a little close, but getting that win. So 15 gems worth it, that's going to be rank 20, getting that chest. It doesn't get us anything now, because now we're in the part of the season where a lot of tech is really expensive. Tomorrow we're going to get some tokens, we'll get this troop damage to level 4, and try to make an even better push then. Even after that, getting double shock blasters, followed by a bunch of this other junk. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.